It was what the French always do. Absolutely bizarre. I'm surprised it didn't end with a giant radish in a dishwasher or something like just some really obscure things which they do. But I think they probably have gone too far, haven't they? Because why is it always all right to mock Christianity? To use in this instance the Last Supper, where you seem to have a transgender model, drag queens, and a mostly naked singer painted blue. I mean, imagine when they were sitting. Vous idée? Des idées? Oui, je pense, I think it would be good to have the naked man blue, like a Smurf. Pourquoi? Parce que c'est la France, c'est liberté. Oh oui, d'accord. Send for the Pernod. They always do it though, don't they? But why is it Christianity? Tragically, do you remember what happened when they tried to put a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad in a magazine in Paris a few years back? There's no laughter then, was there? So it's all right, you can mock Christianity as much as you like, but don't even run a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad. How does that work?
To suggest that it was that the French or the organisers didn't know what they were mocking is just laughable. And the apology is very qualified in such a way. Sorry if you took offence, not sorry that we gave offence, which is quite different. I think it would have been a better apology would have been, I think we might have made a mistake, but that's not how people apologise these days.
Are we to celebrate the fact that Christians are relaxed, and when something like this happens, they express a degree of disquiet and they let it rest there, and they don't take to more direct action?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We are quite deferential, aren't we? And we have been the dominant culture historically, and have influenced all the good things about equality and diversity and justice and love, and all those things are influenced by Christianity. So weirdly, all those things are kind of coming back to bite us. Even though we've been the dominant culture, so we're kind of open for critique. But I think I'm more offended, to be honest, by the sexualization of everything. Okay. And that whole scene, was highly sexualized and other things as well. And I don't want to be too kind of prudish about it. And, it's not as though I only watch you films in life. But I think for a show that's basically for adults and children to watch, people gyrating, wearing virtually nothing, celebrating abortion, celebrating all kinds of sexual relationships, which might be offensive to some, and certainly needs a lot of explanation to children, I don't think is good. Why does everything have to be sexualized?
It wasn't anything to do with Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, as you correctly said. Oh, come on. Listen, Nick.
Zut alors.
Maths is not my strong point, but weren't there 12 apostles?
Yes, but the setting is exactly the same in the way that you have the central figure, which was Christ, which in this one I think is a transgender model, and then the drag queens are arranged. I would that they were the apostles. Come on.
Oh, come on.
No,
Nick.
you come on.
If they painted you and I in a life drawing room, would they say that we're taking the mickey out of the Old Testament and Adam and Eve?
But in the many ways that their heads are sort of bowed against each other is an absolute depiction of the Last Supper. It's completely almost the same choreography.
Listen, you're talking about heads.
No, écoute-toi.
In a particular direction. Well, when Dionysus, the Olympian god of wine,
right.
Yes, if he had a little bit too much of the tipple, then his head would also be nodding in a particular direction. This is to do with the Greek god of pleasure, of festivity, of madness, and wild frenzy.
No, it's to do with mocking Christianity.
No.
It makes Christ, Christianity, and the apostles the gag.
No, absolutely not. I think the wonderful thing about art is that we all see it through different coloured lenses, and it's all interpreted in a different way. And how we accompany our vision of it is obviously brought to it by our baggage. You're not asking me if I particularly like it or not, thank goodness.
Did you particularly like it or not, Estelle?
But, Nick, I am going to say that the interpretation of it is attributable to various factors. And this, in my eyes, is not the Last Supper after one has done some investigation into it.
I think this Last Supper depiction, and it is a Christian thing, is highly disrespectful.
So do I.
Isn't it strange that Jesus is the only name that people swear by? No other religion swears by their gods. It's only Jesus. But Christians shouldn't.
Yes.
Pardon?
I said, sorry, I had not thought of that. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
But Christians shouldn't retaliate because, the
Why
fact
is it okay to mock Christianity, do you suppose, in people's eyes?
Well, I don't think it is okay, but maybe because I believe, and many Christians, I think there's 2.4 billion Christians around the world, because Christians believe that Jesus is God. So, of course, there's people who don't believe that. Look what happened in the French Revolution when they said God is dead. They had a 10-day week. They had to quickly bring back the 7-day week because there was anarchy. Look what happens to a nation who despises God.
How disrespectful was it, Charlotte?
It was not disrespectful at all. It definitely was not a depiction of the Last Supper, but it was.
Why would they apologise then, to Fran's point?
Because nowadays it is so easy to apologize for something, considering the fact that this has gotten so much backlash from people who don't even. They're just desperately looking for an excuse to make this about Christianity when in reality this has nothing to do with Christianity at all.
So we've got a long table, which you see in the Last Supper. We've got people all arranged around it facing us. We have a central figure, not with a halo, but something that's not a million miles away from a halo over their head. And then we've got people standing either side of the central character, sort of blending in each to other, bending their necks on each other's shoulders. You don't see the Last Supper at all?
Not at all. In fact, considering that this is have a listen here for a second.
Sure.
Considering the fact that this is an Olympic Games, which was from ancient Greece, this is, and the Paris Olympic Committee have already said this is a depiction of a Greek bacchanalia.
Yeah.
The figure that you see on the table is Dionysus.
They've also apologised.
But you know what? They also tried to explain it before. But the fact that everybody doesn't want to listen, because we live in a world where everybody doesn't want to listen. When they form their own opinions, that's it. They don't want to hear any reason. They don't want to hear any excuses.
You honestly don't think that long table with everyone sitting one particular side of it, arranged that way? I hear what you're saying about the fact that we've got a bit of bacchanalian orgy going on, but you see no reference whatsoever to that to the Last Supper, Da Vinci's Last Supper.
Well, let me ask you this. The person that you were speaking to earlier, she was an art historian.
She is.
She mentioned it how there were 12 apostles in the Last Supper, but there are no 12 apostles to be seen. There are no 12 people on the table, and yet you are making reference to the Last Supper.
Well, I haven't counted them, but there must be near enough 12, for God's sake.
They must be near enough 12, but there aren't 12. And if this was the Last Supper, then there would definitely be 12 apostles on that table.
Hold on, slow down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I've got 11, but I haven't got the full. There are 12. No, I've just been told there are 12. I've only got a partial shot. Is this on LBC yet? But so I think. By the way, this is neither definitive one way nor the other. But come on, just have a look at it. It's exactly the same.
Yeah,
Can't you see? It is on the website.
But at the same time, it's like, why would you say that it is Christianity and not an ancient Greek bacchanalia when
because
Olympic
they're merging the two. Because they're merging the two. That's clearly what they're doing.
The Olympic Games have more ties to ancient Greece than they do to Christianity. They have zero ties to each other with Christianity.
Okay.
So why would you think that out of nowhere they're going to be mocking Christianity?
Because you're allowed to have two themes. If you recall, the London Olympics had, I think, Paddington Bear and James Bond, and the NHS. You're allowed more than one theme.
Right.
And that's what they're doing here. Yes, it looks like a bacchanalian orgy, but you've got the 12 apostles joining in. It's obvious as the nose in front of your face, or whatever its expression is. No?
Yeah, but out of nowhere they're going to be mocking Christianity. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yes, you said yes.
My blood pressure's now gone down, but that woman you had on with the American accent telling you that you were wrong.
Right.
I actually rang up your staff and told them to get her off the phone.
What was she saying that upset you to that degree?
Well, because she was saying And it wasn't the Last Supper. Oh, they haven't got 12 people up there. They do have 12 people on the picture. It was definitely a skit on the Last Supper.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
Nick, as a Muslim, I'll just say one thing, that all Muslims should have been calling for this, because we should be offended as much as Christians in Jesus Christ, just because we believe in Christ.
Yes.
And
isn't he one of the 5 prophets, I think? Is that right?
Well, there's more than 5 prophets, but he is one of the prophets, and we should be calling out for this. And as far as the Paris Olympics is concerned, have they lost all AI and all the ingenuity? Why do they have to go back and cause grievances like this?
Yeah.
They could have done it much better, I think. I mean, I don't think why people are arguing. If it's causing offence to Christians, it should be causing offence to Muslims as well. And full stop, don't cause offence. It's supposed to be a enjoyment thing, not something that you're going to bring up and cause offence to people with.
And also very much a family affair, where I think perhaps some of the sexuality that was implicit as well was also misplaced. Khalid, thank you for that. Good, hadn't thought of that take.
We sat our daughters down to watch it.
Yeah,
we think the Olympics are quite big lifetime things for the kids to watch.
Absolutely. How old are your girls?
To turn it off.
How old are your girls?
5 and 7 years old.
Oh, lovely. I bet they were excited.
Yeah, they were excited until we turned it off, obviously, and then they kicked off, and we had to deal with that. But we became very confused as to why it was so over-sexualised, especially the part where there was like a biracial, what only could be described as like a threesome that was going on up the stairs, and they walked into a bedroom, then you see the bedroom door closing. Then you've got obviously all of the, the trans stuff, all of that stuff. And then kids mixed in with that. Then the sexualised dancing. We were like, what has this got to do with sport? What's this got to do with culture? Why are our kids? And actually, I'm a content creator as well, and I made a video on this and put it out, and I was completely shocked with a response from people. Like I'm talking like tens of thousands of people honestly disgusted by it, and just wondering why is it that this stuff is constantly pushed in our faces. I mean, I'm an adult, I don't mind, but that's not questions and conversations I want to have with my daughters right now. It's just confusing.
This is the benefit of talking to you, because I don't have children aged 7 and 5, but I have in the past when they were little. Of course, we've sat down and watched the Olympics opening ceremony, because it is such an extraordinary spectacle. And I think, by the way, I had boys. I think 2 lads looking at me aged 7 and 5, and they're the same age gap as your girls. I would have found that very difficult, with people copping off and going in for a threesome and that sort of thing.
Yeah. But I mean, look, listen, I'm no stranger to sort of close to the mark content and jokes and stuff like that. And I think that there is a time and place for everything. I wouldn't want to stop those people doing whatever they want to do. But people should be able to seek out that kind of entertainment, seek out that kind of content. It shouldn't be plastered on. I don't know how many millions or billions of people that went out to, and how many kids. But I know for a fact that a lot of Britain just went, no, switched off. And I don't even want to watch the Olympics now. It feels weird. It feels strange. I don't know what it's about.
Wow. So, that is pretty condemning. Now, I did see on social media that at one point the official video was taken down yesterday. Now, I don't know whether that's because so many people will kind of get onto it. There was also a Paris outage, wasn't there? They lost some power at Paris. Now, let's just see whether if it's available with all the others. You can go to London 2012 and Sydney and all the others. But at one point yesterday, apparently it was taken down. Daniel, thank you for that.